But a couple of other things just to think about are headrests. Headrests are always a strange thing, really, because they're so individual and so unique to the individual. And I would encourage people to consider using, in the first instance, the simplest possible headrest that you can, and then move on. And now that sounds silly, but sometimes it's very easy to get wrapped up with what's worked for little Tom, and therefore we'll use it almost for all of our children. In actual fact, start with the simple things in life and then decide whether he needs any more, and can he cope just with a simple curved headrest. You know, if that doesn't work, what are the problems? And you know, there can be very simple solutions. I mean, we've got a headrest which we call a wing curved headrest, so we have a curved one which just goes from here to here, and a wing curved has got these bits on the side which do help a great deal with the child stopping getting his head stuck around the side of the headrest, because that's just enough that you can get your head to there and come back into the middle. So it's a nice simple solution to a common problem. We also do a version of that which is made out of a big block of soft foam, which sometimes some kids will get their head stuck underneath the corner, and if you've got a soft foam block, then it doesn't give you that sort of solid point to get your head lodged under. You can also have headrests like this which have actually got a little bit of a lump in here to give a bit of occipital support, and they can be quite comfortable. You can't really see that, but you can actually feel it, and there's a couple of these around, so that actually sort of clears the top of your ears, and it just gives you a little bit of occipital support just here. And they can be quite an effective and quite discreet solution sometimes. But also, there's no reason why you don't use moulded Otterbock type headrests, the new Chailey roller coaster headrest that RMS are supplying. I don't know, has anybody come across that one yet? No? Okay. I mean, it's I'll just describe it very simply. We should really have a picture for them. But yeah, so it just has a sort of neck roll which gives some occipital support, and then two shoulder bars that come down. Now, they're not shoulder restraints, they're for resting your head on, as opposed to restraining you in the chair, and as such these shoulder bars, if the child extends or pushes, they will just push up out of the way. So they're not entirely what they seem, in terms of they're not like you have on a roller coaster, but they can be quite an effective solution for kids that get their head sort of stuck around anything else. Then they're certainly worth considering. Quite expensive. They're kind of somewhere in the region of about £400 or £500 each, which is probably comparable. The other one to consider always is the Whitmire headrest that Lecky provide, which again can be very effective. I'd say the only problem that we have with Whitmires is the length of time and the subtleties of adjusting them. They can be very time consuming to get set up, and if the bolts come loose you can lose all your settings, and so it can be something of a maintenance nightmare really to get them working just right all the time. And the Lecky ones do have the elasticated band as well around the child's forehead, which again for some kids can be very effective. And all of those things are all possible to integrate, certainly into CAPS seats, but you can integrate them into a lot of other seats as well. The one thing which I'd say before you go past the standard and a simple headrest, before you think about anything like this, or Whitmire especially, is make sure everything else about the seat is set up correctly first. So it sounds like a simple piece of advice, but it's amazing how people again get very fixated and focused on the head problem, and the head problem must be solved with a special headrest, and that's not necessarily always the case. So take a step back, make sure everything else is set up. It may be you just need to sort of sort out the footrest and get a new seat cushion and adjust the laterals, and actually his headrest support will be an awful lot better anyhow. So just take a step back and look at the basics there.